wanted to talk to you a little bit about the theme of the generator. Generators have the theme of satisfaction. That is their highest state of being when they practice their strategy, their authority, and understand their energy level and understand how their design works in the world and in relationship with other people. They feel satisfied with life. And the opposite of that is frustration. And if you're a manifesting generator, it's frustration and anger. So, what's the solution for frustration and anger? It is to understand the generator strategy of response. And if you're a manifesting generator, adding in informing other people. This is the way we go through life with ease, and it's also a way that we get things done easily, and it is how we manifest things into the world that we can be satisfied about. My question, though, is what's it like to wait? Waiting can feel like torture. One of my clients actually described it that way. I would definitely agree that waiting is an art form. Human design waiting is not like everyday waiting. Human design waiting takes a deep understanding and trust. So, what does it look like when we don't wait? What does it mean when we get tired of waiting and we start reacting? What does it mean when we thought we were responding, poured our heart into everything we were doing, and it's still not working out? And now we're panicking and we just like start initiating like a manifestor all over the place. What does that look like? What does it feel like? Have you ever thought about any of those questions? I am not a generator, so I can't speak directly to what it means, but I can definitely tell you that I have observed it in others and I have asked them questions about what they're experiencing when they're sitting there waiting or they're just reacting. I can tell you that for me, the vibration that comes from them feels like panic. And if they experience the sensation of I'm being tortured as I sit here and wait for things to happen, you can understand why they're panicked. They want to end the torture, right? I, for some reason, imagine, and we've all seen it in movies and television shows, someone drowning. We've even probably studied it in first aid. What happens when a person feels like they're drowning and another person jumps in to save them? They start climbing on top of the person who's trying to save them. And what ends up happening is they're drowning the other person and putting them in a state of panic. So now you have two people flailing around in the water trying to survive, right? Someone who is reacting often is panicking. There's fear there. They're wondering, oh my God, never gonna get the thing that I'm waiting for. So let me just make something happen. And if it's life or death, if money is involved, income, housing, clothing, shelter is involved, sometimes you're gonna get even more of a panic reaction, right? So what does it look like out there in the world? I can also tell you from experience of watching generators in nursing jobs that I've had out there, when they are tired of waiting, when they are at loose ends and they don't have anything to respond to and they don't have anything going on, they can become actually quite disruptive. They have a negative energy. They often are complaining. There's a cranky baby vibe about it where they sort of are seeking attention and following people around and trying to figure out what, and trying to insinuate themselves, or that's not, I'm not sure if that's the right word, but trying to insert themselves into what's going on with other people because they're literally walking around looking for something to respond to, something to do. Other reactions are they can be really pouty and depressed and snappy and irritable, and they can just walk out of a situation because they're so overwhelmed by that feeling. So that's what it feels like when you're not a busy, manifesting, doing stuff, creating generator. That's what that feels like. What does it feel like to respond? Now, that is where the art comes in. Response requires trust and it requires patience and it requires time to actually learn the difference between reacting, initiating, and responding, right? Anyone, any type in the human design family who practices their strategy and authority, who understands it, can achieve a state of Zen. The waiting for something to respond to becomes Zen-like. It's peaceful, it's calm. For a generator and manifesting generator, they're still busy, but there's some joy about it. There's happiness at just enjoying their life and doing stuff until the thing they need to respond to shows up. And what's fun about the thing that eventually arrives is it's absolutely perfect, perfectly tailor-made for them. Now, to achieve that state of calm in waiting, the process is waiting and being busy while you're waiting, responding and doing so beautifully, waiting patiently, waiting peacefully. And then when that thing shows up, diving into it, working your heart out, experiencing satisfaction along the way, and experiencing the thrill of mastering the project. And then finally, once you've finished that task and that thing that you did, looking back on it with satisfaction, you're going to start feeling frustrated again at waiting. And that is a sign that something else is coming your way. So hopefully that helps you a little bit to understand, especially if you're a generator and a manifesting generator. Waiting isn't fun when you're a beginner, but if you talk to people who have been at it for a while, they can tell you that it is the best thing they ever did was to take the time to learn it and to experience the frustration, talk about the frustration, but also pay attention to themselves as they're experiencing it. How are they functioning in the world? Are they being respectful and kind and tolerant of the other types as they're going through what they're going through? And if you have generators in your life, you can also pay attention to them as they go through frustration. So learning from them, what's it like to react versus respond? So I leave that with you today. And again, I encourage you to look at some of the questions that I'll post probably in the comments below and see what you come up with. I'd love to know what you think about reacting versus responding. Have a good one. See you next time.